Transformation for me means sort of when you're at the end of the road of incremental improvement, right? Where you cannot take the next step in the existing way of doing things, and you have to stop and begin a completely new path and a completely new way of doing things. And that may be from an internal process to a system that you're using to a product that you're launching. But transformation for me is the starting over from something new.
It's really fundamentally changing the foundation and the processes by which you opt to truly be digital.
We think of it more like a metamorphosis, where you are fundamentally changing who you are, but there's still keeping of that essence in the mission vision, but you really can't go backwards. It's really kind of casting the vision for how we think about our digitization and digital journeys.
Processes and technology base that we've used to get there is not going to be good enough to keep us going forward for future success. Secondly is really the industry and the rapid pace of change around us. Complex legacy systems that we've had in the past simply are not nimble or agile enough really to keep up with the pace of change.
Spending hundreds of millions of dollars, as many of you know, doesn't lead necessarily to more revenue and more customers. And I think as long as we think about how we'll gain customers or wallet share or create more revenue and new products from what we create, that's still available. I still think as long as you are always kind of keeping the customer in view, that does differentiate you still in our industry.
I think
First of all is the budget process. The second is people. And the third is thinking outside of the project scope that you're trying to affect.
The challenge that we've run into is the tendency to want to pivot to chase short-term gains or solve maybe an immediate problem that's right in front of us tactically, right? That might save you weeks or maybe a couple of months here and there, but then it pulls you away from the transformation journey and really prolongs your ability to get better and healthier as an organization.
Yeah, I was just thinking as Mike and Paolo were talking, another area, and it's kind of related to things that both of them have mentioned, is to clearly understand and be able to articulate the benefits and what the journey looks like over multiple horizons. So it's my opinion, innovation and risk are kind of like the same coin, but two sides. And on the one hand, without appropriate risk guardrails and innovation program, you can end up with a hot mess. And the opposite is also true. You can constrict the organization so much that you really can't get beyond the creative thought into the innovation, which is the doing, and that's where the benefits are realized, right? Like that's what our shareholders and our executives want to see. But we have a pretty clear picture of areas where we think we can bring value to our business, to our regulating bodies and our risk partners.
I mean, banking is basically risk management. So you risk and reward trade-offs
Yes.
all along the way, and agree 100% on making sure that you bring your risk and compliance partners into the process early on, making them part of the team.
Banking that's had the most innovation is fraud, right?
Yeah.
And you can't incrementally improve and keep up with the pace of the sophistication of fraud, right? So that's an area where transformation is a must because the threats are transformed, right? And so the response has to be as well. Otherwise, you literally can't do business.
Absolutely.
When you're not trying to transform your core and you're trying to do incremental products or incremental growth with the assumptions that you have to work inside the boundaries, when you add up the cost and the time it takes to modify complex legacy systems, then oftentimes it outweighs anything other than like bunker buster changes, right? The incremental net positive change, the incremental net new feature, you're like, it's not worth it.
From the perspective of, will it allow me to do something really, really cool that's differentiated? No. We all run the same handful of cores, and they're built on Me Too delivery, and that's just the reality that we all face.
Pretty amazing that they've been able to be updated and maintained and still function after 30, 40 years. But I do think in time there will be innovation in space. I think the core becomes less important, honestly. I don't think it's going to be a big part of as a non-technologist, I don't think it's going to be a big part of the technology stack. It's just going to be kind of infrastructure that sits behind all these tools.